Welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about my 2025 ins and outs. I really love this trend to just write down what you want to integrate more into your year and what you want to cut out. So grab a tea or a coffee and make yourself comfy. I'm drinking a herbal tea right now. It's really yum. And I also prepared for this video and wrote down a list of my personal in and outs. There are quite a few points, so let's get started. Starting strong, one of my 2025 ins are poems. I really love poems, especially writing them. And I don't know why, but I kind of stopped doing this. Even like a few years ago, I sometimes just wrote down poems into my notes app. I actually think a lot of people did that. And I also wrote down poems into my journal. But I kind of stopped doing this and I want to bring it back. Then my second in are candles. I love candles, always did, always will. My next point is to perceive art more. I really want to go to galleries and museums more. It's just so nice to perceive art and to really get inspired. My next point is maximalism. I love dressing up. I love to put on fancy clothes, to layer clothes, to also go crazy with jewelry and with fun styles. I love big chunky charms and yeah, just to have fun with jewelry and dressing up. Then I want to bring back games with friends. I had some very cute game nights this year and I don't want to miss them next year. Also staying curious, asking a lot of questions and really listening. I think this just goes into learning new things and when being in a conversation with someone, really being there and be present and let the other person finish their sentences and yeah, just really listening. Also, I wrote down trying new things and embracing failure. And with that, I mean really stepping out of the comfort zone and not only try new things that you already think you are good at, but really try things that you would never do normally. Then, and this point is one of my favorites, laughing loud and wholeheartedly. I really miss those big laughs where we don't give a shit about what other people think of us when we laugh that way. And you know, when you had those laughing attacks when you were younger, where you almost pissed yourself because something was just so funny, I want to bring back those big laughs. And then my next one is practicing gratitude. The best case scenario is to do this every evening, to write down 3 or more things that you are grateful for that happened in that day. And those can be the smallest things. This just makes your overall life so much more positive. I need to do this more. And then more phone-less activities. I think this is self-explanatory. And another one I wrote down is discipline. That's something that is very hard for me. I'm not the most disciplined person, but I want to learn it and I want to create a habit system where I really stick to the things that I want to do. And yeah, discipline is such a key element. And then mindfulness. It's just a summary of all mindful activities, which are mostly phone-less activities like meditating, journaling, but also breath work, stretching, everything that's just a little bit more intentional and mindful. The next one I really love. Solo dates. I want to go on more solo dates. I want to explore the city. I live in Berlin and there's so much going on here. And I think it's also an act of self-love to dress up, get ready and take yourself out. Maybe even go to a restaurant, go to the theater, go to watch a movie at the cinema. Like these are really nice things that you can do alone. And I think it also strengthens the relationship you have with yourself. So yeah, solo dates are a very big one as well. And next one are happy dances. I love a good happy dance. I love to just swirl around in my room when no one's watching and listen to my favorite music, really feeling the jam, putting it on the highest volume and then just go crazy and dance. Every time I do it, I feel so much more positive and awake afterwards. I also wrote down falling in love with your friends. And what I mean by that is, I think most of us are already in love with their friends. There's a reason why they are such a big part in our lives. But you can really practice to keep getting to know new sides of your friends, also to see them from this particular sweet perspective. I once even wrote down a little love letter about a friend, and I just wrote down everything that I like about her, every little things I notice in her movements, the way she talks, the way she is excited about things. You can fall in love with your friends, and I think it's the nicest thing to do. I think this practice is especially nice if you already know them for a very long time, to keep on getting to know them better, to keep on learning new things about them, seeing new sides of them. Something so valuable. So yeah, keep getting to know your friends better and fall in love with their whole complexity. And I also wrote down compassion. I love compassion. I think this is a human practice, and it would connect us all even more if we would be a little bit more compassionate with the people in our lives and even strangers, like just trying to put oneself in the shoes of someone else. I think it's such an enriching thing to do. And my last point is kissing. I want to bring back kissing in 2025, either with your partner or with strangers or on cute dates. I want to bring back a good kiss. And now going over to my outs, I have to drink a sip of tea. So my first point is ghosting. I don't think that I am a big ghoster, especially not intentionally, but I feel like leaving people on red and just ghosting them is something so childish. If you don't want to talk to someone anymore, just give them an explanation. You don't have to people please, that's not what I'm saying, but I think ghosting, it's just like the basic level of respect that we shouldn't overstep. Next out is being scared of aging. I am such a big one on this. Like, when you talk to my friends, I'm the one who's always like, oh, I don't want to get old. I don't want to turn into my 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. But in the end, I have to remind myself that it's a privilege to age and life will get better anyways. We will know ourselves even better. Yeah, I really want to have a different perspective on aging and seeing it more as a gift and something to enjoy. Another out, that's a basic, scrolling hours on social media. It's just a waste of time. My next one is playing small. I want to show myself. I don't want to play small anymore, and I think no one should. And another thing that really goes into this is I want to stop cringing or judging, especially myself. I was never a fan of this term, something is cringe, because to be honest, like, get over it. Let's just all be cringe and let's just all do weird things, you know? Life's too short to judge. Yeah. Another one is perfectionism. I don't like perfectionism and it really holds me back sometimes. And I think a lot of people struggle with perfectionism. Then something else that goes hand in hand with perfectionism is overthinking. I'm working on this one. And then another one is spending money on unnecessary things, like the fourth coffee date in a week, or overly expensive drinks, or mediocre food. I don't want to waste money like this anymore. And then also saying yes to meetups when I don't feel like it. I tend to say yes to a lot of things. If a friend of mine asks, yeah, do you want to hang out tomorrow or Wednesday or Thursday or every day of the week, I'm probably gonna say yes because I really enjoy the company of my friends. But sometimes I have to put some time aside for myself. I'm also working full time now, so I really have to crave out this time for myself and stop saying yes to every opportunity and really plan meetings more intentional. And the next one I wrote down, it also goes with it. It just says not taking my goals as important and not valuing my own time. I just really want to value my own time and make the best out of it. My next one is trying to categorize myself. What I mean by that is I don't want to put myself into a box or put a label on me, because in the end we are such complex beings with so many different sides, so many different attributes and characteristics. we can be sad and loud and shy at the same time. It's all possible, and especially I think in the age of social media, we all try to fit in somewhere. And my last point is decision fatigue. I have a hard time making decisions. So yeah, decision fatigue is one I want to cut out. Yeah, these were my 2025 ins and outs. If you like this video, please subscribe and give it a like. And I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!